You spend months hunched over your desk, grinding through practice problems late into the night. You pay the fees, submit your documents, and finally apply for that Chinese government scholarship. Starting in 2026, there is a strict new hurdle standing between you and that scholarship, the China Scholastic Competency Assessment, or CSCA. You can pass the exam with flying colors, but choosing the wrong subject combination hits a hard barrier. Your application stops right there. Once you pay that registration fee, your subject choices are permanently locked. You cannot go back and add the correct class later. That makes choosing the wrong subjects the most expensive mistake an international student can make. It costs you your money, your time, and your application. Unlike a traditional university entrance exam, where everyone takes the exact same test, the CSCA functions as a highly specific, modular filter for your intended major. You have a menu of 5 available subjects: Professional Chinese for Humanities, Chinese for STEM, Fundamental Mathematics, Physics, and Chemistry. You do not take all 5. You have to curate a precise combination that matches exactly what you want to study. This creates a central dilemma. Every applicant has to balance the heavy burden of preparing for multiple subjects against the flexibility of applying to different programs. To survive this, you have to work backward. You need to identify your target major's exact requirements before you commit to a single hour of study. This diagram maps out the first decision filter, the language of instruction. You must choose between a Chinese taught or an English taught program. Following the English taught path completely exempts you from taking the 90-minute professional Chinese exam. Eliminating that subject cuts your preparation load by up to 40%. But the trade-off is that you enter a much smaller, highly competitive pool that demands significantly higher minimum scores in your remaining subjects. Now look at the Chinese taught path. This route strictly mandates taking either professional Chinese for humanities or STEM. There is no getting around it. That requires 6 to 12 months of intense academic language preparation. The upside is that you become eligible for a much larger volume of available scholarship slots. Your choice of language sets your baseline workload before you even begin to consider your specific major. If you are applying for the hard sciences, your path immediately splits again into medicine or engineering. For medical programs like MBBS, pharmacy, or nursing, the rules are rigid. Fundamental chemistry is absolutely mandatory alongside mathematics. Medical schools expect you to arrive with a deep, specialized understanding of organic, inorganic, and physical chemical reactions. You cannot substitute physics just because you think it might be easier. If you lack those chemistry fundamentals, the medical pathway is closed. Engineering programs sit on the opposite end of the spectrum. Degrees in mechanical, civil, or computer engineering heavily favor and almost always mandate fundamental physics over chemistry. A strong physics and math combination opens doors to top-tier technical schools, but it requires months of intense quantitative study to hit their cutoff scores. The sciences are not a single block. Guessing which science subject to take will result in an invalid application the moment it reaches the admissions desk. There is a completely different route for applicants targeting liberal arts, business, or economics. This comparison shows why English-taught business and arts programs carry the absolute lightest CSCA load. You only need to take fundamental mathematics. Because you are only registering for one subject, the fee drops to 450 RMB, about $64 US. It is the fastest and cheapest option available. But because it is the path of least resistance, thousands of non-STEM applicants are executing this exact same strategy, flooding the applicant pool. You save time and money by minimizing your subjects, but you have to achieve an exceptionally high math score to stand out in a saturated field. What if you are completely undecided? What if you want to apply to both an engineering program and a pharmacy program? This chart breaks down the pricing rules. One subject is 450 RMB. But taking 2 or more subjects triggers a flat fee of 700 RMB. You can use this to hedge your bets. By registering for mathematics, physics, and chemistry together, you stay within that 700 RMB flat rate. That single exam session produces a school report valid for both engineering and medical program applications for a full academic year. Hedging maximizes your application reach and saves money on individual fees. However, it deeply dilutes your study focus across 3 difficult subjects. Knowing the general rules is a start, but generic advice is often unreliable. You must officially verify your exact requirements. First, download the official CSCA syllabi. Then, pull up your target university's specific international admissions guide and search directly for their CSCA subject requirements. Next, email the university's international admissions office directly. Use a standardized template to get written confirmation of your combination from the source. This verification has to happen before you lock in your unchangeable exam registration. Paying an education agency to guess your requirements is a massive risk when you can easily secure the binding rules directly from the university. Even if you carefully verify the perfect subjects for your major, the fast-approaching calendar can still easily beat you. This timeline shows the mismatch between exams and deadlines. The CSCA offers multiple dates, including June, but scholarship deadlines close in March. A June score is useless. You must take your first exam by January to ensure your scores arrive for the review committee. You have the facts. You can take the laser-focused minimum path for specific majors, or utilize the flat-fee hedge path to prioritize flexibility. Success is determined by proper alignment. You need to map out your combination and your calendar months before you ever sit down for the exam.